If after the Allen mass shooting, your thoughts was to ask for more gun control, you are truly misguided, and I'm about to show you why.
Many of you are asking, what will happen next? He was asked about a recent poll that showed an overwhelming majority of respondents support laws to reduce gun violence, like enhancing background checks, enforcing existing laws for guns, or raising the legal age to buy some weapons.
These types of polls are deliberately misleading because the question is asked to get the answer that the poll wants, and they do this by putting the answer in the question. Of course, if you ask people if they support laws to reduce gun violence, they're gonna say yes. What else are they gonna say? No, I want more laws that increase gun violence? The way the question is worded assumes these laws without a doubt actually reduce gun violence. But anyone who looks past the feel-goodery aspects of these proposed gun laws can immediately see that this is not true. As for background checks, according to CNN, the shooter used to be a private security guard that required him to undergo extensive training and background checks. The gunman was approved to work as a security guard in Texas from April 2016 until April 2020, when his license expired. According to his profile in the Texas Online Private Security Database, as part of his work, Garcia received level 2 and level 3 security training. The former covers security laws in Texas, the latter, which is required for all commissioned security officers and personal protection officers in Texas, includes firearm training and the demonstration of firearm proficiency. Private security guards in Texas undergo background checks and are disqualified if they committed certain crimes such as assault, burglary, or sexual offenses, among others, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety website and state codes. You can't be a private security guard without having a background check, especially if you're carrying a gun. Keep in mind, this was all after he was removed from the Army in 2008 for mental health concerns.
But sources for both WFAA and ABC News say that Garcia served in the Army until 2008, when his service ended due to mental health concerns. These same sources say that he's voiced extremist views and a dislike for people of color and Jewish people, but he did not have a criminal history.
As far as raising the age to buy a gun, the shooter was 33 years old, and the vast majority of mass shootings are committed by people who are over the age of 21, with the median age being 32.
The governor said shootings happen in states with varying levels of gun control, and he said he does not believe that is the root cause.
People want a quick solution. The long-term solution here is to address the mental health issue.
People need to understand the gun control lobby and their politicians, which is essentially the Democrats. And no, I'm not playing politics. It's just fact. Look at all of the politicians these anti-gun groups back. They're essentially all Democrats. And I'm sorry, they're not trying to address the mental health issue. They are trying to use and leverage the mental health issue to justify their agenda for gun control. There's a big difference. If they really wanted to address the mental health issue, they'd be working with organizations like Walk the Talk America. Walk the Talk America is an organization that isn't playing politics. They're literally trying to work with the mental health community so that they can bridge the gap between mental health and responsible firearm ownership. But no. These politicians and gun groups don't want any parts in that, because Walk the Talk America isn't trying to use mental health to ban guns. They're trying to find a balance between mental health and responsible firearm ownership. I'm sorry, people. There is no quick solution to minimizing, much less stopping, mass shootings. It's going to take hard work and it's going to take time. But most importantly, it's going to take focusing on the right issue. But as long as we keep pushing it on gun control, which is clearly not working, we will continue to have these shootings.
People need to really wake up. I mean, wake up to what's happening here. It's almost become some normal event for everybody.
That is State Senator Roland Gutierrez, who represents Uvalde. He has filed several gun reform bills this session. He tweeted today, "There is a special place for people who watch all this happen and choose to do nothing," along with the hashtag blood on their hands.
And this is the dangerous rhetoric that is dividing this country and literally creating the type of extremist mentality that inevitably ends up committing these types of atrocities. I want you to keep in mind, he has no words for the person who actually did the shooting. Literally none. He has more contempt for people who simply have a difference of opinion on how to keep ourselves safe than he does for the man who actually went and slaughtered people. I want you to think about that for a second. How are we supposed to fix this issue when the other side of the conversation is literally putting us on the same level as the murderer? Actually, he's making it worse because he doesn't even address the murderer. So essentially, he's putting us on an even lower level than the murderer. I guarantee you, Roland Gutierrez would never sit down and have a conversation about how to fix this issue with someone who is pro-gun because he doesn't want to have a conversation. He wants you to do what he wants you to do. And if you don't do what he wants you to do, well, according to him, you have blood on your hands.
President Biden is sounding the alarm on gun laws again. The president issued a statement saying yesterday's shooting is, quote, too shocking to be so familiar, adding, we need more action faster to save lives. He says as soon as a bill that would ban assault weapons reaches his desk, he would sign it immediately.
Why is Biden talking about assault weapons when the vast majority of mass shootings are committed with handguns? It's not even close. It's more than double. You can't tell me it's because they're too dangerous when this just happened yesterday.
Another person has died in Brownsville, Texas, after a driver ran over asylum seekers waiting at a bus stop near a migrant shelter. At least 8 people have now died. 9 more are injured.
Surveillance video from just before the crash shows about 20 people waiting at a bus stop. We are not airing the graphic parts of the video, so we froze the clip just before a Range Rover went over the curb.
So if they put a bill on Joe Biden's desk to ban assault SUVs, is Joe Biden going to sign that too? It doesn't matter what you ban. People who are committed to mass murder will find a way. One man in a truck in Nice, France killed 84 people and injured over 400, and many of them children, with a truck. And the only way they stopped him was with a gun. Do I think one mass shooting is too many? Yes. But let's not forget, we live in a country with over 300 million people, and a mass shooting is any shooting where 4 or more people are killed. And they compare us to countries who have a fraction of our population. And mass shootings are literally less than 1% of shootings committed in this country. Yes, mass shootings are terrible. And yes, the thought of being randomly gunned down while you're shopping is terrifying. But do not let these politicians exploit your fear to get you to give up your ability to protect yourself, because that's what we're talking about when we talk about protecting our rights under the Second Amendment. We are not talking about hunting. We are not talking about sport shooting. And we are not talking about protecting a hobby. We are talking about protecting your ability to protect yourself and the people you love. That is what this is about. And yes, AR-15s are protected by the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It didn't say only handguns, it said arms. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.